Three breaking news stories just hit Chiefs Kingdom, and they've got fans feeling everything from anger to doubt to straight-up tension. That Super Bowl loss still haunts like a nightmare no one is ready to face. And whispers about the Mahomes-Reid era slipping are getting louder. But it gets worse. The defensive tackle situation? A mess. Confusing decisions, questionable depth, and no clear answers. And now, just days before kickoff, Mahomes loses his top wideout for 6 games. The real question, is this season slipping before it even starts? If you're a true fan, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing. Let's get into it. All right, Chiefs Kingdom, it is time to snap out of the fog and remember what we're really witnessing here. Yeah, Super Bowl LIX was a heartbreaker. No need to run it back in your head or torture yourself with the lowlights. We all felt that one deep in the soul. The dream of a historic three-peat ripped right out of our hands. And for the past 6 months, a lot of us have done the only thing we could. Look away. Distract ourselves with anything but football. Pretend like it didn't happen. But let's be honest. We've been in a bit of a daze ever since. And that doubt? That little creeping voice whispering maybe the dynasty's done? That's not us. That's not this fan base. That's not the team we've been riding with. We got beat. It sucked. But being that close to rewriting NFL history? That's not a failure. That's fuel. This isn't a sad story about what could have been. This is about what's next. The reality is, the 2024 Chiefs were still absolute dogs. They went 15-2, took down the Bills, again, silenced MVP chatter, and barreled into the Super Bowl looking like legends in the making. And yeah, they hit a buzzsaw. But don't let one game make you forget the decade of dominance that came before it. Now here we are, standing at the edge of a brand new chapter. And anyone paying attention knows this season's not some desperate attempt to hold on. It's a reloaded campaign. It's Patrick Mahomes still being that guy. It's the calm, collected leadership of battle-tested vets. It's Andy Reid still out-scheming everybody else in the league. It's a team that knows exactly who they are and what they're chasing. This isn't about revenge. It's not about clinging to the past or rewriting what's already done. This is about legacy, about shaking off the sting and writing the next epic volume in the Mahomes-Reid era. It's about reminding everyone who forgot, and everyone who wanted to forget, that the dynasty isn't at to dead. It's still roaring. So if you've been tuning out, numbing the pain, or starting to believe the talking heads saying this run is over, wake the hell up. Look around. This is the golden age. Right here, right now. And this team? They're not coming back from the dead. They never left. And if things weren't shaky enough, the next headline sends a serious warning straight to the heart of the defense. All right. Let us talk about the one spot on the Chiefs' trains, or the twist roster, that is starting to look like a giant, heading into Week 1, defensive tackle. And yeah, that is not the position you want to be guessing on when your whole identity is built around pressure, disruption, and dominance in the trenches. Now look, Brett Veach has been nothing short of a magician over the last 7 years. 3 rings, 5 Super Bowl trips, 7 straight AFC Championship appearances. Dude's been playing 4D chess with the cap, while locking down stars like Mahomes, Kelsey, and Jones. But not even Veach hits every dart, and this DT situation? Kinda looks like he missed the board. Let's rewind. The Chiefs let Tershawn Wharton and Derek Nennity walk in free agency, guys who've been part of the ride, and brought in Jerry Tillery and rookie Omar Norman Lott to fill the void. So far? Meh. Tillery's been invisible in camp and preseason. Norman Lott showed some promise early, but injuries have kept him mostly sidelined. And the Chiefs even had him bulk up, which is a big ask when he hasn't even gotten in full reps at that new weight. Then came the surprise move that really raised eyebrows: cutting Mike Pennell. The same Mike Pennell who gave them solid work last year and played nearly 100 more snaps than Nnadi. And what did Veach do after that? He turned around and re-signed Derek Nnadi. It's like trading in your sturdy used truck for the same model with more miles on it and a lower grade from the mechanic. Veach also brought in a couple of former third-rounders, Broderick Martin and Zach Pickens, to stash on the practice squad. Guys who haven't exactly set the league on fire. And yeah, the team even tried to make a move for rookie Joan Briggs before he landed with the Jets. That says one thing loud and clear: they know this group isn't cutting it. Veach himself told Matt Derrick of Chiefs Digest that defensive tackle is a position they row hyper-focused on. Translation? They're not liking what they're seeing from this crew, and that's a bit of a red flag. So here we are, just days away from the season opener, and the Chiefs' D-line is basically Chris Jones, and a whole lot of shrugs. Can Nnadi hold up against the run? Can Tillery do anything next to Jones on third downs? Will Norman Lott ever be fully healthy and effective at his new weight? And are Martin and Pickens just warm bodies on the practice squad, or hidden gems waiting to break out? But the most recent bombshell? Mahomes is heading into Week 1 without one of his most dangerous weapons. Game changer. Patrick Mahomes isn't sweating it, because that's just not in his DNA. Whether he is suiting up under the bright lights in Brazil or tossing bombs at a local high school field in Overland Park, the guy shows up like it's the Super Bowl. But heading into Friday night's season opener against the Chargers, he'll be without one of his most trusted weapons, Rashee Rice. Rice is out for the first 6 games after catching a suspension from the NFL for violating the league ACE personal conduct policy. And yeah, it's a blow. Mahomes said it himself. Losing a guy of that caliber definitely changes the dynamic, but he's also not acting like the sky's falling. Instead, he's confident in what the front office has cooked up behind the scenes. Brett Veach loaded the WR room with depth this offseason, and Mahomes believes the plan isn't for one guy to play hero. It is going to take a whole squad to fill in for what Rice brought to the table. We're talking names like Tyquan Thornton, Jason Brownlee, and Robert Tonyan, new faces who didn't see the field much, or at all, during last year as grind, without Rice. But this time, these dudes are ready, and they've already shown flashes. Thornton's been bombing past secondaries all preseason, looking every bit like a legit deep threat. Brownlee? He snagged the first TD of the preseason and flexed some real red zone chops. And Tonyan? He is looking closer to the version we saw lighted up in Green Bay before injuries got in the way. Let us not forget how brutal last year's loss to the Chargers was. Rice went down trying to help tackle a pick six. Mahomes collided with him, and boom, the offense sputtered without its spark. Add injuries to Hollywood Brown and Isaiah Pacheco, and the explosive firepower that made KC lethal was suddenly gone. Teams were keying in on Kelsey, and without the deep ball, the playbook got real tight, real quick. But this year, that firepower is back. Mahomes keeps talking about how the return of the deep ball is opening up the whole offense again. And with guys like Worthy, Thornton, and Brownlee flashing all camp long, you better believe DCs around the league are gonna have to respect every blade of grass. Worthy summed it up best. Anyone in that WR room can be the guy. The talent's there, the work's been put in, and the chemistry is real. So, yeah, losing Rice stings, but it doesn't sink the ship. If anything, it might just push this group to show how much deeper and more dangerous they really are. The pressure is real, the defense is shaky, and Mahomes already lost a key piece. But if this team has shown anything, it's that doubt fuels them. Subscribe to the channel to catch every twist in what could be the Chiefs' most dramatic season yet.